What's the funniest thing your toddler has said at the worst possible moment? It was my sister-in-law's wedding, and my 4-year-old daughter was the flower girl. I spent the entire week before the ceremony cycling through every parenting technique I knew. Bribery, threats, prayer, trying to ensure she wouldn't traumatize the bride on the big day. I failed before we even got to the church. The rehearsal dinner went fine until my daughter looked at the groom's mother and announced, "Your dress is so poofy and purple. You look like a grape." The woman had spent $600 on that outfit. My wife locked eyes with me from across the table with a look that clearly said, "Our daughter will be sleeping in the car tonight." Morning of the wedding was a war. She refused to wear the flower dress because it was too itchy. She negotiated a candy bribe that would make a diplomat proud. She agreed to wear the flowers in her hair, but insisted on wearing her Spider-Man sneakers with the dress. The photographer nearly quit. I nearly let him. The ceremony started in a beautiful garden. My daughter walked down the aisle exactly 3 steps before spinning around and walking backward for the rest of it, dropping flower petals like she was Hansel leaving a trail. She reached the altar, looked up at the bride, and dramatically flopped onto the ground like she'd just run a marathon. I'm so tired. That was so far. The bride was 30 feet away. Guests were clutching each other, silently shaking with laughter. The priest powered through. Vows were exchanged. Rings appeared. Everything was going surprisingly well. My daughter was drawing on the program with a crayon, seemingly occupied. I exhaled for the first time in 48 hours. Then the priest said the words, "If anyone here knows of any reason these two should not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace." Silence. Birds chirping. A perfect sacred moment. My daughter shot up like a rocket. "I object." Gasps. My wife grabbed my arm so hard, I felt bruises forming. The groom looked like he'd seen a ghost. The bride's face went white. Then my daughter crossed her tiny arms, adjusted her lopsided flower crown, looked the groom dead in the eye, and said, "You forgot to bring the cake tasting." The groom blinked. "The cake's in the back, sweetie." My daughter's face lit up like Christmas morning. "Oh, okay, never mind then. I don't object anymore." The entire wedding party lost it. The photographer captured the moment. The groom doubled over laughing. The bride crying tears of joy, and my daughter casually sitting back down to finish her drawing, like she'd just single-handedly saved the marriage. The reception was a mess, of people constantly coming up to my daughter, asking if she'd object to other things. "Do you object to this cake?" "No." "Do you object to this DJ?" "No, but I object to broccoli." Someone asked if she objected to the groom. She looked at him, thought hard, and said, "He's okay. He gave me cake." She was the absolute star of the night. Turns out, the bride told me later she was so nervous she could barely breathe. My daughter's absurd intervention made her laugh so hard, she forgot to be scared for the rest of the ceremony. The grape-dressed mother-in-law? She and my daughter are now inseparable. My kid calls her Grapey, and she answers to it. Who knew a 4-year-old's objection to cake logistics could save an entire wedding? I'm just glad she didn't demand a recount of the flower petals.